It all began on a seemingly ordinary morning when HOA Karen, never one to respect boundaries, trespassed onto my ranch uninvited. She arrived, clipboard in hand, and demanded that I turn over my dumpster, or else she would fine me for violating some imaginary HOA ordinance. Karen, fueled by entitlement and audacity, clearly expected immediate compliance, fear, and panic. What she did not anticipate was that her actions would trigger a series of events that would completely neutralize her power and expose her recklessness for all to see. From the moment she stepped onto the property, I began meticulous documentation. Security cameras captured her every move, from her approach to her repeated attempts at intimidation. Audio recordings preserved her demands, threats, and every claim she made regarding supposed authority. Prior incidents of harassment were compiled into a complete dossier, creating an irrefutable record of her audacity. Every detail mattered, leaving no room for deception, manipulation, or false claims. Karen attempted to assert control, waving her clipboard and insisting that she had the authority to dictate what I could or could not do on my property. She threatened fines, penalties, and legal action, but her audacity collided with preparedness, strategy, and lawful authority. I calmly reminded her of property boundaries, ownership rights, and the illegality of her trespassing. Every claim she made was systematically dismantled with documentation, legal precedent, and clear evidence of her repeated overreach. Rather than simply refuse or argue, I implemented a controlled response that ensured both safety and accountability. Access to the dumpster was secured, and security personnel were stationed nearby to monitor her actions. Karen's attempts at intimidation were neutralized without confrontation. Her threats held no weight, and her audacity became increasingly apparent to anyone observing. Every misstep she made was logged, creating a permanent record of her reckless interference. Karen, realizing her demands would not be met and that she had no legal standing, attempted to escalate the situation. She contacted the HOA board, neighbors, and even local authorities in an effort to assert influence. But every action she took was countered with documented evidence of trespass, prior harassment, and clear legal boundaries. Her credibility began to crumble, and she became increasingly isolated. The audacity she had relied upon to intimidate others had transformed into a visible display of recklessness and ineptitude. In the days following the incident, additional measures were implemented to prevent any future harassment or trespassing. Legal notices were sent to Karen and the HOA, outlining the consequences of any further interference. Security systems were upgraded, access points reinforced, and surveillance continuously monitored. Karen's ability to intimidate, manipulate, or assert false authority had been permanently neutralized. Her audacious attempt to control my property had spectacularly backfired. Neighbors and the community quickly became aware of the incident. Karen's reputation, already tenuous, suffered a permanent blow. Her pattern of harassment, entitlement, and reckless interference was exposed for all to see. Observers recognized that audacity without preparation, authority, or legal backing is destined to fail. Karen had assumed compliance and fear would follow her actions, but instead, she discovered that recklessness meets consequences when confronted with strategy, documentation, and lawful authority. By the end of the week, the ranch was calm and fully secure. Karen's audacity had been decisively neutralized, leaving her powerless, publicly humiliated, and unable to interfere further. The property remained under complete control, and the incident became a cautionary tale. Attempts to intimidate, manipulate, or assert authority without preparation, legality, or strategic foresight are always self-defeating. The ranch stood as a monument to foresight, preparation, and the power of lawful authority over reckless entitlement. Karen had been exposed, powerless, and humiliated, ensuring that no future overreach could occur without immediate consequences. Every observer understood the principle. Audacity unchecked by strategy, legality, or authority leads only to failure, exposure, and public embarrassment.